It's been a while since I was able to upload City of Heroes, so in case you don't know, last time on City of Heroes.
Skulls are usually they're a gang that worship the dead. Bone Fracture worships, like I said earlier, Lord Atramanus. He is a Latin demon. Bone Fracture was interested in the dark, and his friend was interested in fire. And they come across a group of Hellions. So they ambush them and they kill them, and Bone Fracture winds up face to face with his friend. Now, of course, he doesn't want to kill him because it's his friend, and they've lived on the streets for years. But his friend is insistent on killing Bone Fracture. You betrayed me, you're on Skulls now, you must die. So, begrudgingly, Bone Fracture had to kill his friend. Mainly because it was the look of his friend's face that's ingrained in his memory. He chose the faceplate of his friend's skull. And one day, they put this newbie on his team. And this guy is one of the most annoying people that you've ever had to work with. He's like hyper, like, okay, go, we're going to kill someone. Bone Fracture's taken out so many supers. He's in fact killed a couple, like with his bare hands. Bare hands with, you know, the dark tendrils wrapping around them. So, he gets prepared. He hears the sounds of battles down the hallway. He hears his fellow Skull members getting brutally killed. And it's no biggie because they're just little guys. But when the hero gets up to his room, the newbie gets taken down, and he sees nothing. But suddenly, there's this whiff of air, and he sees a shimmer of a very stereotypical hero in green and yellow spandex. He was wielding some form of blade that was made out of air. And he felt the sting of it. Next thing he knows, he's in a courtroom, and the judge is, here you guys are, is pretty much sentencing him to life in the reform program. This guy introduced himself as Dominic. Dominic is working as his hero partner. He's there to make sure that Bone Fracture doesn't kill. So, this is Dominic. He is the one that's in charge of controlling and keeping tabs on Bone Fracture. After the trial, Dominic met up with his escort. Bone Fracture is released into Dominic's care. And right away, Dominic can see that Bone Fracture is going to be a little more challenging to deal with than everyone else. So they go around the streets, taking on stuff like clockwork. He figured Hellions would be a good way to test his powers. While they're fighting a group of clockwork, one of the boss clockwork show up, taking them both by surprise, and Dominic had to put his focus on the boss. Bone Fracture thinks to himself, hey, this is an excellent time to escape. So he takes his chance and slips away. Runs down the street, sees a group of skulls, and he's like, hey, I get to try to rejoin my group. He walks up, and he's about to talk to them, but he stops. He looks back to where he left Dominic. And he feels a little bad for just leaving him alone to fight a huge group of clockworks, and runs back. And sure enough, Dominic is having issues taking down the boss. Comes behind the big robot and just smashes right into the back of its neck. Dominic turns to Bone Fracture and yells, "What were you thinking?" They bunk up with their caregiver. I guess you could call him the Watcher. Bone Fracture decides to feign sleep, which is a usual tactic, so Dominic knew that was coming. So Dominic feigned sleep. Bone Fracture jumps out the window, down the fire escape, and off into the streets. He holds up in an abandoned warehouse, but Dominic was waiting for Bone Fracture in the warehouse. Bone Fracture, of course, pissed off that he was already there, starts yelling at him, "How in the world did you get here before me? How'd you know where I was going?" Dominic puts up a finger and says, "That is the information you do not need to know. Instead, how about we get back to the apartment and sleep for real?" So they head back to the apartment, and Bone Fracture, being the smart villain that he is, decides if he tries to escape that way again, Dominic will know. Dominic will show up wherever he's gonna go. So he decides not to try to escape, obviously. So, after he was arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison, he instantly wanted to try to formulate a plan to escape. He blamed his idol for the break-in. The hero was in fact invisible. He kind of rode in on the wind, struck him with a blade that he could not see. But what did his idol do? He just stood there and gawked. And now he's heard that he was to be made into a superhero. Lockjaw wanted to get his vengeance on his previous mentor, his idol. So, he decides to try to kill a guy to make a distraction to escape. What he did not realize is that the guards were on him real quick. They put him into solitary confinement and increased his sentence to life in jail. So he's sitting in his room with nothing but darkness to welcome him. So as he sat and thought, he remembered the deity that he used to pray to, Lord Atrum Unnus. So he decides to try to speak to him again. And after, hell, he doesn't know, Time was nothing to him. Day and night bled into each other because he did not know what time it was. He could not see the sun. They delivered him food at an irregular pace. Or at least that's what it seemed to him. He had no way to tell time. But eventually, after he whispered his prayers, he actually heard a voice respond. Lockjaw, you have contacted me. Yes, sir, Lord, my Lord. I hail you. I bow to you. No need of all these fools that has accepted me as theirs. They have forgotten. But I accept for you. You have called to me at your moment of despair, your, shall we say, darkest hour. Yes, my lord. Silence. Do not interrupt. You are the only one that has spoken, that has reached out. So I will extend to you. I will give you the powers of my darkness. You will become my red right hand. You will shed your identity with the skulls. You are no longer Lockjaw. You are now the master. The master of the skulls. You will go out and retrieve followers. We must have more. Find the darkness in their hearts, the darkness in their souls, and the darkness in their time. Now go, gather skulls. Lord, I will do as you bid. So he sat. He waited. He formulated. He came up with a plan. His plan was not completely together. His plan could work. His plan required others to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. So he waited. And he waited. And of course, he waited. Until his solitary confinement sentence was up. Or was it until the guards got bored? Anyway, they released him. He waited. He watched. He placed little spiders into people's ears. Whispering of how Johnny over there thought that the Warriors was the weakest group ever. Warriors against Nemesis, Nemesis against Skulls, Hellions against the family. It all fit together. The powder keg was there. He just needed to pass the match. And sure enough, a scuffle, a shank, a death, a prison riot, guards confused, trying to keep everything in order. And Master of the Skulls, or Master Skull, had gathered up those that are willing to put their past behind them willing to shed their original gang, their original group, their original villainy, and gather together under one name, the Dark. And they escape the simplest of ways, the simplest of paths. An explosion in the side of the prison that was already there. And amongst the confusion, amongst the violence, amongst the shouting, they slipped like mice out into the streets. And under the one name of the Dark, they formulated their own group. Not a group, not a cult, a religion of the darkness to follow the one true God. Atrum Honest. Good evening, morning, and afternoon, freaks and geeks. This is Railuge, and welcome back to City of Heroes. What do you think about my introduction into this character? Please let me know, because the story of this is, like, it's everything. It's the reason why I do this. So this is Master Skull, or at this point it's just Lockjaw. Boop, boop, boop. And here are two of his Skull minions. They, just like him, like to shake off the Skull gang and join a new group. Now, this is his prison outfit. So, that's not who he is now. This is who he is now. This is the Master Skull. The red right hand of Lord Atrum Honest. And today I am going to, this is recorded during their Christmas event, so there may be presents laying around. I might go and open up a present and kill some snowmen here and there, and that's why it says Father Time up here. But we're going to be talking to Dr. Graves instead. And while I do his little story arc, I am also going to be talking about my story arc. You are as described Master Skull, and you look long enough replying. It took long enough replying to my missive as well. I will make this introduction brief. I am Dr. Graves. I already know who you are, and we will get to the point of this meeting. I have been tasked with offering you the chance at obtaining a great deal of power. Usually, that word alone, power, is enough to cause most here in the Rogue Isles to wriggle and scream delight. I'm interested in seeing your reaction. You would believe me to be a ghoul? And I assume your self-image is that of a misunderstood protagonist, is it? Holy shit, he's right! Or maybe the snarling monster with a secret heart of gold. Or perhaps someone cursed to a life they didn't want. Bah! I am here to trade barbs with someone of your like. However, what I am going to do is offer you, Master Skull, a formal invitation to a very exclusive, albeit unsanctioned, competition. Before you dismiss the opportunity, know this! The victor of the trials shall be granted the privilege of being apprenticed, if you will, to a person with very important connections. Dr. Graves looks around at nearby Arachnus guards in a rather dramatic fashion before fixing his soulless eyes upon you. Very, very important connections. Alright, Graves. What do you need me to do? I am glad to see your ambition overshadows your attitude, Master Skull. You'll need both if you expect to surpass the others in the eyes of the one who's truly watching. which I know is Lord Adjumus, but I digress! With that said, let us tarry no longer with this conversation. Actions speak louder than words, and if you try hard enough, sometimes louder than screams. I will give you the location you are to register at. Use the registration council within the gathering place to prove your intent, and I shall then speak to you further. Okay, so, after he snuck out of, yes, the ziggurat, he had a small handful, like these two, and some other would-be villains that are frankly done with their group and the nemesis they follow. Ooh, a present! So, he hears further of the great deeds that his idol, Bone Fracture, has done. He has saved countless people. He has become a very well-known name on the streets as Savior. This does not sit well with Master Skull, because he learned all that he needed to know about the drugs, making the drugs, selling the drugs, transporting the drugs, but apparently not protecting the drugs. So he feels betrayed. But he can't get his vengeance yet. He needs to complete the dark task and gather wandering souls to join the army of the darkness. Like I said, this is not a group or a cult. It is a religion. An old religion found, like, with roots deep into the old Latin culture. This looks like the registration counts Dr. Graves told you to use when you showed up. Large flashing words indicate that you should choose one of the buttons below the screen. Applicants will provide a biological sample to prove they are not in the employ of organizations such as Longbow. Insert sample of bioorganic composition. Insert blood sample. He's just like, okay. Analyzing. Source material, blood. Spectral analysis readings. No traces of pathogens on record indicating Longbow allegiance. Cellular analysis. No traces of radical cellular mutation detected. Blood count analysis. High fat composition in the sample suggests the sort of subject is prone to a poor diet and could possibly lose a few pounds. Hold on. I spent how long in solitary not eating much of anything? How am I fat? Genetic analysis. Subject missing one strand of DNA with an early strand sequence. Anomaly recorded. Wait, does this even say missing DNA? Gene map database query results. Subject matches no known genetic matches from SAM database. Interpol records show 2 known matches. Further inquiries prevented due to triple black screen clearance information lockdown. 2 matches? How is that even possible? Psychological profile. Subject shows signs of narcissism, normally associated with psychopathic disorders. Additional negative traits evidence are the following: delusions of grandeur, perception complex, poor impulse control, and exceptional gullibility. When have I ever been oh wait, I see. Okay, I will kill you. Final analysis. Subject has failed the first test. Initiate self-destruct sequences. Well, at least you're not as gullible as it would seem. You passed the initial test. Let us talk, shall we? Though you things that I failed. Do not congratulate yourself too quickly. That was but the first of many tests you will need to pass if you are to win the right to be our faceless master's protege. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Please stick your penis in me, skull behind me. What would happen if I failed? You have made yourself useful in other ways. For instance, I could likely find the use for 80 on damaged limbs that still remained. However, there will be a time to pursue that line of thinking later. In the meantime, we will need to gather the rest of the canon so I may explain the rules to all of you. Let's just get this over with. Rather demanding, aren't we? Allow me to point out that currently you are not in a position to make any demands. Perhaps things may change in the future, but for now you will be following my instructions if you wish to be a part of this trial. Now follow me as we gather the rest. I believe I saw Omnicore nearby. Okay, I keep seeing these flash by. I'm thinking someone's talk behind me or something. Lead the way. I said lead the way. Lead. Fine. By the way, this class is so broken and overpowered. Like with these guys alone and my own bullets, and then I throw on the dark summoning, and eventually I'm getting leadership. Broken as hell. Doctor, how much longer am I to wait? You are to be one of my rivals. If you are an indicator of the type of the competition I am to expect, then it would seem this contest has ended before it has even begun. Okay. That's his response, just, okay. I couldn't care less what simple beliefs you hold. What was again, Master Skull? The fact remains that I am by far your superior on an intellectual level. And by the looks of you, on a physical level as well. And yeah, I made him skinny on purpose. These indisputable facts are all that are important. You may wish to spare yourself the humiliation of me besting you by just leaving now. If you were truly strong, you wouldn't be relying on empty threats. You'll see how pathetic my threats are when you're staring at your legs on the other side of the room and wondering where your torso went. Care for a demonstration? You guys are totally going to fight, right? He's excited and so is Graves. I like what it says. If it means you're actually doing something, then yeah, right here, right now. Omnicore looks at Dr. Graves with what you believe to be glaring. Alright, just read the things. Sorry about that. I will not let someone like you ruin my chance at gaining unimaginable power. We'll finish this at another time, Master Skull. Hi. Or will we? What exactly are you supposed to be? You look like a lame excuse for a fog machine. Damn it. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with, mechanical freak? What? How dare you, both of you! I will no longer tolerate this from either of you. Omnicore glares at Dr. Graves. I may not allow to kill these miscreants, but I will not deliver myself to speaking with them any longer. Ah, bliss. You are not the real Zephyr. I can't believe you let her talk to you that way, and you just let her get away with it. Just saying. Me, I'm Zephyr, you know, like the wind. I just realized something. I was taken down by a hero 10 times your stature, and you call yourself the wind. No, I am the wind. You know, like the whole whoosh, ha ha, crash your ship to the shore, now you're gonna drown. Oh, now you crash her out, you wuss. That kind of wind, you know? And man, I gotta say, that kind of thing never gets old. I'm telling you. So you're telling me you're the Zephyr Wind? Yeah, I thought it was pretty clear the first couple of times I said that, but hey, you know, whatever. Oh, yeah, and I'm also the guy who's gonna kick your butt in the competition, too. The mountain does not bow to the blowing of the wind. I got nothing else better to you know. Ever since mankind got all technological, like that robo freak, it's hard to cause all kinds of pain and sorrow and all that junk. Stuff like making widows, or blowing down houses, or flipping up a girl's skirt. Okay, well, I still do that one. Anyway, so, to get to the point, one day I turned myself into... Alright, Dr. Graves, what do we have to do now? Oh yeah, Dollface. I think I'm lost. Would someone please help me? This place is very scary. You're a villain. You're a villain with a cute little key on your shoulder and an angel ring. Your backstory's gotta be awesome. Oh, you're not gonna hurt me, are you? Are you Dollface? Who's Doll? Dollface stops short. She's interrupted by Dr. Graves. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I'm Dollface. You're one of the other contestants, I'm guessing. Alright, little girl. I don't feel like killing minors today. So, how about you run off to mommy? Hey, pal, I'm older than I look, okay? Probably older than you, from the looks of it. Gaunt face, looking like a skull. I'm withered by time and the... Okay, yeah, sure. And who the heck are you anyway? Turn your nose at me, huh? I am Master Skull. You better watch your mouth. Yeah, I can see you calling yourself that. So what makes you so special that you think you can beat someone like me? Do you shoot fogs from your eyes or something? I am with the darkness. My name wasn't given to me by myself. My master chose it. Okay, calm down. I was just asking because I wanted to know if I was going to get grossed out if I ever had to fight against you. First of all, it's not nice to hit a girl, but if you're going to start throwing puke at people or throwing spikes from your body, well, I just don't want to see that kind of thing, okay? Just die. Oh, that's easy. I'm going to convince everyone that I'm the best for the job. I'm very talented at what I do. I wouldn't say I'm the best at what I do, but I'm pretty darn good at it. And if it doesn't work, then maybe I'll just stab you guys in the neck or something. Tee-hee! I'm just kidding. But you got real scared, didn't you? Didn't they, Mr. Doctor? They got so scared they were going to run away. Just like how you're so scared you're going to run away right now. Like, now. Tee-hee! He is so silly and a very nice man. And he listens very well, too. Really well. Don't worry, though. He can disappear right in front of you, and that guy is still running around. I'm the only actual NPC that's standing still. I don't know you guys well enough yet. I don't know if you like to hear. Don't know what you like to hear, but maybe I will one day, you know? And then you can have a real fun time playing together. What did you just do to him? What, little me do something? Tee-hee. All I did was suggest to him that he had a better place to be, and I guess I was right, huh? It's a coincidence, you know? Yeah, sure. Dr. Graves said there was another person, too. Maybe we should go find them. What was it, cross-slice or something like that? Dollface looks right into your eyes. Which burns her. I think it would be fun if we all went and looked for that guy, don't you agree? Sure, we'll find Crosscut. Jump. Oh. Looks like Crosscut brought in a couple longbows. Alright, fellas, you know what to do. Wakey, sleepy beauty. I missed. Well now, who wants the dark meat? Now, don't all speak up at once. So, any preferences in the type of cut? A ramp roast, perhaps? Or perhaps ribs? Are you really going to eat them? That would be a waste of such interesting textures, wouldn't you agree? No, I have something else in mind. Crosscut stares at you with a gargoyle-like gaze for a moment. Did you know you have very pretty eyes? Eyes that will burn your soul. I was wondering if I could have them. You gotta speak to Lord Atram on this first. Oh, you are so kind. I shall now explain all the rules of the contest. Now that I have all of you assembled, save for Omnicore, it is time for the proceedings to begin. I am sure each of you have many questions. Hold on. I wanted to turn. Yes, Graves. What are we doing? Your impertinence has been noted, Master Skull. Now then, each of you will be given a trial to test the strength of your powers. More important will be how you use them and on whom. See how I use the word whom? Throughout these trials, your faceless benefactor shall be watching you and judging you. Each of you have completed your test. Or once. We shall then move on to the true competition. For now, concern yourself with only how you can show that you are superior to your rivals. Alright. I have a gang waiting outside with one call. They'll swarm here, and we all will just shoot them to fucking death. How's that for you? No, Master Skull, that will not work. All of you have prevented from killing each other upon threat of immediate disqualification and subsequent termination. I would suggest that you all abide by this rule. Another important thing to note, the one hosting this contest, the very same person who will grant you untold power, does not wish to be identified until the winner has been chosen. Thus, this tournament is unsanctioned by Arachnos. If any of you speak of this to anyone, you will not only be discredited, but will forever be known as a snitch. This, my friends, can be itself a fate worse than death here within the Rogue Isles. You'll await further instructions as the trials are to be prepared. Now go! So, I don't know how the time is after all the edits and whatnot, but I'm going to finish this on the next episode, which I'm obviously going to record right away. So let me know what you think of my story, what you think of this tournament thing. I kind of find this more interesting than the heroes side of what they did. I don't know what these could be qualified as. They're kind of story arcs, but I'll follow both of them. Don't worry. Just click on whichever thumb you think is appropriate for this video, and until next time, stay the